yourself, doubts in your confidence, doubts in your smile, doubts in your good fortune, but keep on your crown, princess. Doubts in yourself, doubts in your confidence, doubts in your smile, doubts in your good fortune, but keep on your crown, princess. Seems like everything is lost. Broken glasses around make you bright. Your decisions to know what's right or wrong. You're unsafe and not strong. Doubts in yourself, doubts in your confidence, doubts in your smile, doubts in your good fortune, but keep on your crown, princess. Doubts in yourself, doubts in your confidence, doubts in your smile, doubts in your good fortune, but keep on your crown, princess. Doubts in yourself, doubts in your confidence, doubts in your smile, doubts in your good fortune, but keep on your crown, princess. Leute reden, Leute schweigen, verborgen hinter ihrem Schein. Die Hüllen waren, und zu leben mit der ewigen Angst allein zu sein. Die gleichen Süchte, die gleichen Gefangenen. Wer lebt schon wirklich echt? Mein Glück, mein Schicksal, was ich will und was ich tue.
Very good evening to you all, and welcome to another DA Musical HQ artist session. We've got a special artist in this evening, Jule and Malischke. We're just sorting out a couple of internet issues until we get Jule online. We were just seeing a couple of stalls in the internet signal, so just wanted to make sure that we have the best possible signal for you. So for now, I am playing just a little bit of her album from 2014 together with Stephen Barman. And looking forward to getting Jule online with us in a very, very short while. If you've got any questions, you can always put that in the chat, or you can actually put it in the Ask a Question section by all means. But we will... Thank you, Achim. It's a lovely song. She plays some incredible stuff. It's really looking forward to having her with us. Just gonna check in one more time, but I'll leave you with some of the music for now. See you just now.
Momentaufnahme. Meine Linie, mein roter Faden. Vergänglichkeit. When I was young, I felt the love blooming in my heart. I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, but I could feel love. Everything you did for me, a sunset in my soul. Two little children you hold up like a treasure in your life. Daddy's love is great, greater than a mountain pride. He gives it all. Days of trouble, days of joy, I could count on you. Even if I know I was wrong, you helped me to be strong. You always want the best for us, we want the best for you. Now is the time to sing and say, Daddy, I love you. Daddy's love is great, greater than a mountain pride. He gives it all. I'm gonna take your picture and store it in my mind. The values you'd give me, I hold them up right high. Daddy's love is great, greater than a mountain pride. He gives it all.
Hey, sorry, I will do it with the phone.
One second. We've managed to.
My friend was here. It also doesn't work with her Wi-Fi. I don't know. Maybe it's in the house.
We've managed to get Jule online with us, which is great.
Oh my god, I hate that stuff.
Don't worry about it. They all see. Daddy is listening.
My daddy's
Your
listening,
daddy's
so
listening.
tell him I need a different Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, we need another Wi-Fi connection. So I'll tell you what we're going to do quickly. We're going to quickly switch you over to here. Okay.
Wait, I need to put you in here.
Maybe just swing the telephone around if you can.
Switching?
Well, just so that it's landscape and not portrait. Just
do you see something?
Yeah, if you just turn your phone
like
on its
okay,
side, yeah.
Like this.
There you go. There you go. You see, everyone can see you now. You are.
Oh my god!
Broadcasting to the world.
I think I have the baddest internet on earth.
But you know what? The important thing is that you're actually on the screen now. That's the good thing.
So the thing is, who of you wants to call Vodafone and kick them in the ass?
I'm sure someone is going to do that.
So now, okay. At the end, my phone works. That's better than
It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So what we did is we just listened to the first 3 or 4 tracks from your album from 2014.
Oh.
Yeah,
very old.
It's at least it's a nice one to have. Yeah, we can at least play it.
That's right.
Good. Well, then I suppose we can actually get started with this.
Okay. Sorry,
worries.
everybody.
Don't worry about it.
I think I hope a lot of friends are listening
Achim,
and they have they understand what happens.
Achim says hey Jule, and Rule Cooltech says you're there.
Yes, tell Achim can hear me. You can tell him he can be my technical supervisor next time.
He'll probably hear that in about 20 seconds, but that's good.
Okay.
There's a small delay of 20 seconds between what we say and when they hear it.
Okay.
And that's just to ensure that we have like the best quality, being able to stream out to them. So, but it looks great now. It looks fantastic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you. Like when did your music career start? Tell us a bit about you, because I'm sure there's some people on here that don't know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know what career means. I started playing the guitar with 8 years.
Okay.
In my parents' living room, like something with just.
Okay, a bit like most of us.
Just with bass, and I sing, and I learned in a music school. I learned how to play the guitar, and I was 8 years old, and I loved it. Every morning before school, I sit in the living room and I just played.
Well, that's I think how most of us started. But then you went on and you did the full Monty. You went and studied masters in guitars, right?
Yes, I started with classical guitar, very serious.
Yeah.
And after that, at the same time, I studied music and sports for teacher, because I was also a professional tennis player.
Wow.
And but then my bone broke, and I did a bit more of music and started singing, so that's why I became a singer-songwriter. And then I started classical guitar, and later I went to Dresden for the master and the master class. So you can count now on nearly almost 10 years of studying music.
Creepers. Yeah, they're not they. You don't come across. Well, I don't come across a lot of very highly trained musicians. A lot of musicians are like self-taught in the basement. You know.
Yes, that's also fine. You don't need to study music. If you have the feeling and if you do what you love, I think the passion is the most important thing. So it's not necessary to study music. Sometimes I think that it can be also a bit of a negative thing,
Okay.
because you're focusing very on your being perfect, and on you have to be careful not to lose the natural being of making music. So that's what I see because I also teach at university. That's what I see when I teach my students. It's very you focus on developing and on making no mistakes. And yeah, sometimes I always told my students, so it's not a problem if you make mistakes, as long as I can hear your soul playing. So yeah, that's both is fine. So music is music, and it's for everybody. And I think you don't need to study it, but in some point it's maybe easier to get a job for teaching or anything.
Absolutely. I have a feeling that yeah, I have a feeling that it can be a bit of a hindrance to being able to get music out there. You know, to get content out there. And I think a lot of musicians are like, oh, I have to be perfect. Everything that I put out there has to be perfect, and it's not the case. It's like people just want to hear what you've got. And if you wait too long, like people just they don't hear it. They don't hear it. You know.
Yeah, that's right. I also find myself often in not publishing things. My whole phone is full of ideas and maybe pieces, and I always struggle if I should publish it or not, because I'm not happy all the time, and sometimes I think, yeah, but it's not. Don't focus on your mistakes. It's the feeling was good, and I know what you mean. So I have the struggles with my songs and pieces all the time.
Yeah, it's I actually I came across something today. The chief, the boss of Patreon, and he just said a very simple thing is that just do it raw. Put it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
And it actually opens up more dimensions. It gives people more insight into what what the musician's natural ability is. Because a lot of the time, if it's too perfect, it's too clinical. It's too, it's closed from the audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Because the people want to see the person behind the music.
Exactly.
So the personality and the humanity,
Totally.
or how do you call it? Yeah, and
humanity.
That's what I feel a lot, that my beautiful fans are also in these strange times. They are writing me, and it's very precious to have this. But I think if you study music and you're going in this guitar scene, and you're like comparing a lot what others do, and I think it's just in the guitar community like this, you think the musicians look to each other. I think we can learn a lot from normal audience.
Absolutely.
No musicians, because they feel if they are catched by the music or not.
Of course.
And they don't focus on music with being perfect or very quadratic. Can you say quadratic?
Yeah, I would say. I would say more like perfect. Like
perfect. Yeah, perfection.
Perfection is for any artist, I think, is a stumbling block. Even
that's right.
if you're creating a video or you're creating something which is coming from your soul, it's very difficult to kind of let that go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And until you're finally happy with it, and it could take years for somebody to be happy with something. So
that's right. And I see this at the guitar festivals,
absolutely,
and most of the time, a lot of people are making crazy things on the guitar and fast things. And if I play after such a player, I try to just sing a slow ballad,
absolutely.
and just to try to get the emotions of the people, not to top it, because I know that it's not my strength to play fast and boom, and it's very exhausting also for the people, because they also need to have the time to get the music and to breathe in between the music. So yeah,
Totally
that's
correct. Totally correct. I also see that too often that people are trying to impress the audience, but you can impress the audience in like multiple different ways,
that's right.
So
And for me, first and the first thing is the emotion all the time.
yeah,
The emotion of the music, not being fast or how do you call it? Fast on and perfect and that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like that sort of that clinical type of playing. I know
Yeah,
they
I
all,
don't like this.
it's
I
too
don't
much.
listen to such. To be honest, I never listen to a lot of guitar music.
It can,
So
it can get a bit much. Like
I also love every kind of music. So it's also very refreshing to listen to other instruments,
totally,
because you can open your mind very very good.
yeah,
And this is this guitar scene, just solo guitar all the time, like this way of playing, it bores also me, and I'm a guitar player.
absolutely. I mean,
I don't know how it's for the normal people.
they,
It must be very hard
I mean,
to listen 1.5 hour to this.
there are some musicians, and you've probably come across a guy by the name of Michael Hedges. And all those other fingerstyle guitarists that if you were to listen to it for like an hour straight, you wouldn't be able to take any more on.
Yeah,
It's
Michael
just
Hedges, and I love a lot of guitar players and singers, and also piano players, and it's very cool.
Have you ever played piano before, or have you only played guitar?
My parents tried to. They bought a piano when I was 6 years old, so but I preferred to play outside with some guys football. So I never practiced, and I never had I had a teacher. She came in our house, and my mother said, I don't want this fight every day that you have to practice, so we stopped with it. So that's why we sold the piano. Today I really it's sad, but at this time I preferred going out, and then my mother worked in the kindergarten. She had a guitar, and I always took the guitar, and played with the guitar. And after a few months, they said maybe we had the wrong instrument, so maybe guitar works better. So, and that's they were right.
And that's all in the history now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's great to have you.
Yeah,
On.
my mother also can play a bit, and we sang together, and she played some chords, and it's really nice because now I teach also a lot of children. You need someone to parents need to show you the things to go there. It's not just a kid don't says from someone says, I want to learn this or this. You need to show some things, and then a kid will say, I will do this.
Absolutely.
My mother said, I asked her because I was curious. She said when I was young, she didn't have to say that I have to play guitar. I always did it on my own. Okay. I think it works until I was a teenager, before school practicing, and after that, sleeping a bit longer was more important.
I'm going to just have a quick look here to see if there are any comments. Looking for the perfect.
Yeah, maybe someone have a question.
There's some good questions here. So, yes, Mark Pajares asks, will you record an instrumental music disc?
Yeah, it's a good question because my musical styles are very different. I am a singer-songwriter, but I'm a guitar player, so I am a classical player. I'm also a fingerstyle player. Sometimes if people ask me what kind of music do you play, I cannot say because I'm doing a lot of different stuff. And to be honest, I had a bit of I think about it to do it now because the time of Corona, freelance musicians have a lot of time. So you don't have to work or you are not allowed to work. And I just teach a bit and I plan to do it this year.
Okay, so there's a new album in the pipeline.
Yeah, I will record a CD. My plan is to make a CD with just one guitar, not with different guitars, and to record it very simple.
Great.
With a nylon guitar and to play. This CD will be like a bit of Ralph Towner stuff and Egberto Gismonti and a bit of Tribute to Keith Jarrett, pieces from composers who have my own arrangement or are not so often played. And also what I did in my studies in Dresden, and maybe 2-3 own instrumentals, but most of the CD will be like pieces I fell in love with. So I heard and I wanted to play them. So, and that's what I plan to record it. It's not sure where to do this because there is a little misery. I will tell you someday. Maybe I have a very great option to doing this somewhere. But I can speak about it when this happens.
No, so, we don't talk about it now.
Yeah,
it's a secret.
Yeah, but that's a nice question. I think it will be finished this year, and I plan to do this. And I also will. There will be 2 Assisa Mustafa Sadeh. I don't know if you know this piano player. I arranged 2 songs for a guitar duo.
Wow.
And there will be 2 songs in a duo, and nobody does it before on the guitar. So
wow.
And I never recorded this, so it's a bit sad. And a lot of guitar players are asking after the concert, I like your voice, but do you also have a guitar CD? And I said, yeah, I need to do that, but I was so on tour and teach so much that I had no time, but now I have a bit of time.
Well, now we need to get you to record it.
Yeah.
So, okay, here we go. Here's another one from Armin. Hello, this is Armin. I know Jule personally. We went to the same guitar teacher. She was a much better student than I was. They recorded CDs together and gave concerts.
Oh yes, it's Armin Otto. I know. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, that's great. That's great. We had the same guitar teacher. He showed me how to play the blues.
Wow.
But I never did it again. So
you've never played blues again?
A pity he died, so he's not there anymore. But he was a big inspiration, following the path to go with music and with my heart not being a teacher in school. And his name was Willy Geyer.
Wow.
And I am born in the south of Germany. And when I was a kid, I told my mother I played electric guitar there with him. So, I came from classical guitar, and first lesson with him was I just need to play something like this. So. Just the whole time, and he played solo like 45 minutes.
That's the best.
And then he said, okay, don't play so serious, so classical. You need more groovy, and you need to be. You need don't. I was with my electric guitar like this,
Yes.
in the lesson, and he said, "Oh no, that's not cool. You need to do it on the right leg." And it was fun. So, and he was. I made a CD with him. It was my first duo pep talk, and I started to write songs, and he is responsible that I'm a singer, because he said, you should sing, your voice is really cool. And I started very late, was 17, 18, when I had the injury in my leg, and I could not play tennis anymore. So I thought, okay, let's try to write some songs.
Well, and they worked.
Yeah, and he's a big inspiration. So I never forget what he did to me.
Incredible. What we might want to do is just test this out to see if we can play a song. What do you think?
Okay, yeah.
See how the sound comes out.
Yeah, do you wait? I will play. If you want me to sing, then
let's see how it works, because we now have a different audio setup here. So
I know what you mean. I stopped teaching today 2 hours before to be here in time and to check everything again, and it worked perfect. And then the internet doesn't work. So that's life,
Such is life. C'est la vie.
So I will check it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to make advertisement for iPhone, but
it's good. It's good. You can always afford to sit a little bit back from the iPhone, because it's already quite loud.
Okay, I can turn it. I'm a bit amplified. I do it just a bit.
Okay.
Is it better?
Perfect. Brilliant.
So I will play a song for you. It's called Seagull, and it's talking about a bird flying around and just thinking, not always developing and being the best all the time. Be happy with what you have, and be soft and good to yourself. You have run beyond your limits. You have climbed to the top, and at the end you feel there's nothing left to give, 'cause no one asks you if you're ready for that fight, and no one asks you if you're ready for that fight. You can choose. It's you. What goes up must come down. What remains is you. You may survive to make the best of it all, 'cause no one asks you if you're ready for that fight. And no one asks you if you're ready for that fate. You can choose. It's you.
Wow, that was incredible. Fantastic song.
I hope the quality was not too bad with the phone.
Well, we had some comments here from Rule. Not perfect, but who needs perfect, eh? Guitar sound is perfect, but okay. The guitar is a bit overdriven, but it is wonderful to hear the song. So you know what, like people just loving the fact that you're actually on the screen.
Okay, thank you.
That we managed to find you out within the coronavirus thing.
What? What can you read?
No, that the good thing is we managed to find you during this period of craziness.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what people want, right?
We also, from a bad quality, you can develop to a good quality.
Exactly.
If it sounds good all the time, it's hard to get better.
The fascinating thing is that I'm going to be able to take this and I can actually move myself around to various different centers, but I can also have people come to Berlin and actually do interviews here in the city.
Maybe next time I just want to focus on playing and speaking, and you will do the technical stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's the idea, is to try and actually do the filming and it's crystal clear and the sound is crystal clear and all of that, you know. We got some claps. Well done, guys. Yes.
Thank you.
So this is an interesting question. That guitar that you are playing is most likely a custom built guitar, right?
Yeah, this one is a custom made. I think it's the most beautiful guitar I've ever seen. So you look at this.
Whoa.
Look at this bag.
Jeepers.
It's very olive wood, and it's very tasty here with the golden mechanics and the beautiful details. And this is walnut, the rosette. And it's if you do it in a perfect light, you can see the flames on the top of the guitar. So it's a guitar made by a woman, of course.
Wow.
And
who's that?
Her name is Christina Kobler, and she's from Austria.
Oh wow, okay.
I fell in love with this because I have a guitar festival and I saw this guitar, and it's always the same. You don't need more guitars, but you see this guitar and you saw a guitar and you think, I need this one. I don't know how, but I want it in my flat. And she went home with this guitar at my festival. But she realized that I always walked around and I fell a bit in love. And I was like, my money, I don't have this money for this guitar. And at the end, there was a really nice fate, because I was in the car 2 weeks later in a traffic jam, and the university of Dresden called me, the secretary, and they called me, hey, Jule, Malischke, we have a scholarship because a Chinese guy, he doesn't want it because he moved to China, and now we need someone to take it. So your points at the audition was the highest, so we don't want to make a new application. So do you want this? And I was so amused in the traffic, because I sit there and I just thought I want to go home, and it's so exhausting. And I get this phone call and I felt like I have power for the next 5 months because I called the guitar builder and I said, when can I come to pick this guitar up? And she said, I knew it was yours because there were others who want to buy it. And she just said, let's see. And
wow.
so I went to Austria, and first day we made pizza, and we just you can see on Instagram if you want, I married this guitar. It's a very funny video because this guitar, it's really like a real wedding. You can see this. Because the guitar builder asked, do you want to marry Olivia? This is Olivia. And I say yes. And this guitar also say yes, It's a very funny video. We laid on the floor when we shoot this. So it was so cool. And we had toilet paper as a Schleier. I don't know what's Schleier in English.
Yeah, like this, like the veil.
The veil, yeah. And I just had toilet paper because I cried so much. Oh, yes, I want to marry you. So it was a nice fact, and also some friends supported me a bit with this guitar. So this is has a very individual meaning.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful guitar. So you can hear it immediately. Do you have any other guitars that you can maybe speak about, or?
Oh, I have a lot of guitars. So
any other really special ones?
I will show you my nylon guitar. Today I planned maybe to play with 2 of them. This guitar is also very nice. It's it's a nylon crossover. I searched for a guitar that can make everything. Yeah. That's not possible. No. So you can make groovy stuff, and you also can play very serious. So, and this guitar with the cutaway and a bit of thinner body, and is made from crafted by Just von Hühne, and he's living in Dresden.
Wow.
So and we developed this guitar together, and I painted with him this form.
No way.
On the floor with a pencil, because he has a hard cut,
Okay, the Florentine.
And I doesn't want this. I don't want. I like it round. Yeah. So he said, "You need to draw it with me." So, and this is also, it's very usual wood. It's spruce and palisander, and it's not. It's more from the look. It's more conservative, but it's with this guitar. This is my main guitar. I travel, and now he's working on a travel one.
Oh wow!
Where you can put out the neck, because you always have the problem in the plane to take the guitar. And yesterday he showed me his first results. You just need to put off the strings and take the neck out, and then you can do it in little hand luggage.
What?
And then you can take. There's a little place for socks or anything, and you can travel with this. So, but he's very unmotivated, because he said, I'm building a travel guitar now in times of Corona. This is so senseless. And I told him, no, you have to follow this path.
Keep
and
doing
go for it. Because after Corona, everybody will travel.
Of course.
So I think I get a second one of this, but with a travel option.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, and this is important if you fly, and if you, so you always, with the guitar, with the cheaper airlines, you need a second seat,
Yeah.
or you can take it in the bottom of the plane. And I have a very good case, but it's it's not so always. It's like you think, you look around and you think which woman, what woman looks nice. Maybe I can take it in the top of the plane, and you look where to go.
You hope that you can get it into the
And that's always the problem, and maybe with this it's much more easier because it fits perfect in the top, like a normal hand luggage.
Absolutely.
And it's the size just of this body, and then you can fly with it.
That's absolutely fine. You can put that straight in there, and then you can perform on the plane for everybody.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit hard because you need to make it on and strings. You have to put the strings off. That's not so good, but there's no other solution.
Oh, you actually remove all the strings before you pack it up.
Yeah, just to make it a bit more
I see.
Relaxed. Relax the strings.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Okay, that's incredible. And what else was I saying here? Oh, okay. Here's a good one for you. Who are the musicians that inspire you the most?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I think if I compare it, it's like I like people who go their way without compromises. It's very easy to look what people want to hear and to do what they want to hear, but it's very hard to really follow what you love, and you don't know maybe if people like it or not. And I think a really old lady like Joni Mitchell, she inspires me a lot. Also of the singers and players. I like her style, how to make music and to try things out, play with jazz players also. And she is one like a lot of normal people like her, but also the musicians. And she's a painter. She's an artist, She's not like she's not a star on YouTube or something, but she's an artist. And I also like some players and singers like Eva Cassidy maybe, or some German singer-songwriter. I also hear a lot at the moment John Smith. I played with him in Alapool.
You played with John Smith?
And I like singer-songwriter who try to comp their self on the guitar really good, not just like with 3 chords. And,
he's good.
Or even if they play 3 chords, you feel if it fits to the voice or not. And I also like Aline Cohen. She's a German singer.
Oh yeah.
And I also like some jazz singers like Toren Eriksson or something like that. But I also like famous singers like Nora Jones. But I'm more in maybe these people I know are not so the famous ones, I appreciate so.
Totally.
And on the instrumental music, I really love Egberto Gismonti. Brazilian music, I like something like Keith Jarrett, Avishai Cohn and that stuff. This is this is music. Maybe you feel the same, everybody. You always need the right music for the right moment. Yeah.
Correct.
Sometimes you feel like I feel so bad, but I want to feel worse with sad music. And sometimes you think, oh no sad music. I need something
lively.
And I also heard a bit of funky things the last time to maybe keep my mood a bit more up.
It's
Because if you listen too much ballads in Corona times as a freelancer musician,
that's it. You're out.
you
That's
have
it.
a problem.
You're done. You're done. Next question. Oh, and what they were saying here. Oh, Rule is saying you'll never be just commercial, Jule. So you don't need to worry. You'll never be just commercial.
Okay, that's really a nice compliment. I wish sometimes, it's really hard because sometimes it's not fair. A lot of people get a lot of clicks and they don't go the hard way, like going in every location, making the honest way. And they are just reaching like 1 million. I don't know why, because they look pretty and they're pretty girls and they play a bit of guitar, but they're not, and they play what everybody wants to hear. So it's much easier to get more clicks, to be more famous, to maybe also get other inquiries. But I made this decision with 21 or something like that, because I also played 3 years in a cover band, and I think it's a decision you do if you want to be an artist, or if you want to be a social media person.
Correct.
Selling your music.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the baddest person on Spotify.
You know something? You don't need to be commercial on YouTube to make a decent living, or in the social media atmosphere. That's just a way of spreading what you want to do, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think the stumbling block is when you start producing content or music that others want. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, because you are not the boss of your own.
Correct.
And you're a victim of, if tomorrow maybe Instagram closes, then you're my phone I need to plug in my cable. Sorry. I didn't have the plan to make it with the phone, that's why. My cable
it's
is
worked
here.
so well, this phone.
Okay, yeah, we can talk.
So,
are there some other questions?
Yes, we just got one from Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Palhasu? Is that the way to pronounce it?
What?
The song, I think it's called Palhachu?
Ah! Okay, yeah, he wants me to play the song now.
Yeah, he says that it's incredible. I hope she will include it in her next album.
Yes, this song will be in the next album, of course.
So maybe this is a song to play.
Yeah, I think I know which Mark it is. He is. So he's from Spain. Can you ask him if he's from Spain?
I'll just check with him. Mark, are you from Spain? We are. Yes, he is from Spain.
Yes, that's what I thought. So you can tell him I can play the song for him now, if he wants.
Your requested song is on its way.
I'm not in the best training for it, but we talked about it.
Exactly.
It's perfect now.
People with ears will absolutely appreciate your art. From Rule.
Yeah, this song was one of the songs I fell in love the first time, because I heard this from Balaji Assad. She's a Brazilian guitar player, very famous, and I just was like speechless after hearing this. And yeah, I searched the score for it. So also Mark asked me for the score, I remember.
Wow.
But I couldn't find it somewhere. So my friend and duo partner, the teacher I had in Dresden, also is Stefan Bormann.
Yeah.
he said to me, "Yeah, if you want to play this, you need to transcribe it." And I was like, "What? This is so exhausting." And then I started, and I didn't realize that she has the guitar half toned down, you know. So I started to, and it doesn't work. So I want to give up. And he said, "No, you cannot give up. You need, if you want,
You need to keep going.
keep going." And then he helped me to do this. So that's why it's really, yeah, it's not so often played. I think that's the reason, because the song is composed by Egberto Gismonti.
Yeah.
And the brother of Baji Assad, Sergio Assad, he arranged it for guitar. And I asked her in Brazil, do you have the score for it? And she said, no, I could find it. I cannot find it anymore. I was like, oh my God. She said, I have a mess at home, so I cannot. It's a handwritten thing, you know. And I thought, oh no. And then I transcribed it. So that's, this is, I really love this piece. And it's, I have a special connection with it. It's called Payaso, and it's called in German, Der Clown.
Der Clown.
I don't know how to pronounce it really correct, because I'm not a Brazilian, I'm a German.
No, I think that was quite correct. It was much better than mine.
Genau, so I will first, for this song, it maybe makes sense to tune.
Maybe.
So can you tell everybody, as long as I tune, thank you for joining and
of course
coming to this event, because
you said.
yeah, I tell they can hear me, because I'm very emotional at the time, and there are some people supporting me always, and it's really great. If I were lost without them. So this is for especially Mark, but also for
Achim.
For everybody.
For everybody. That was incredible. That was incredible. People have really, really loved this. Gabby says, vielen Dank, liebe Jule, es war so schön. All is loving it. Achim was really loving it. Matko says he's looking forward for your next concert. So people are absolutely loving this, and I think I think what people are saying here is that we need to see more of you somehow. And
hopefully we can play again soon.
Absolutely. I think it won't be long. I mean, if they're opening the borders for holiday makers, why should we not be able to play music?
Yeah,
what's why? I don't understand that, but we will, I'm sure, at some point or another be able to do that.
So I will play one open air in 2nd of August.
Well, perfect.
So, but then till October not. So 6 months I had then, instead of 25 concerts, I had one.
Oh man.
I have one. So it's, yeah.
Well, maybe
we will see.
Maybe we need to try and figure out something here in Berlin or something.
Of course. Yeah. I would love to do this.
So everyone is saying thank you. I'm just thinking here. Okay, last question. Your favorite venue that you want to play at?
Pooh. Is it stupid if I say I don't have this?
No. But is there somewhere in the world that you may have not been, or you have been?
Oh, there are a lot of places I haven't been. So I played. I would love to play more international in the future, but I started in 2018, and maybe and I also visited some really nice guys like Antonio Forcione in London, and it was a really amazing experience last year in July. But I think I'm not like thinking like this. So I want to have this, and then my dream came true. I'm just I think it's, of course you love nice venues. I think more a dream would be maybe to have a bit of help in my daily doing, like if you're a musician, you don't want to send posters and make contracts and sit like 6 hours on your laptop every day. So maybe you don't want to drive alone to your gigs. You don't want to do the sound like today, you have all the problems on your own if you are a solo player. So I think more than a special venue would be to have a bit of a team, people I can trust, maybe help me to get a bit more to keep going. And this is more because I feel you have to be everything today as a musician. You need to know how to make videos, you need to know how website works, how everything. So I would love to have a bit of a team or a supervisor.
I think that's coming. It's on its way, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this is more a thing or work on my own to keep my fire inside, to keep my health, to meet great people. And you can meet these people everywhere. You don't need to go to the biggest location in the world. So this is what I really appreciate in this job, because I think we swim in the same pool, because we love the music. And I made the experience that I always life brought me there to meet really good human beings. And that's more, it don't have to be a musician, or it don't have to be a special location. I'm interested in sharing the love and meeting the people and sharing the music, not in but there are some places I really like. Maybe Ullapool is one of my favorite festivals, and of course the experience in London. Big location, 400 people. I was like, oh, little Jule from Germany now in London. Ah! So
Well,
yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I would love to. Maybe of course it is a dream to play with musicians,
Brazil.
great ones. Brazil or South Africa. Yeah, you
Oh
come
yeah.
from South Africa. Maybe you can
Well,
arrange something.
I have. There are possibilities everywhere.
Yeah. So that's yeah, yeah.
Good. Well, I wonder whether we can play one more song for everybody because they're still online and they're hanging on your every word. So maybe we should
Oh,
do
this
one
is
more song.
sweet.
What do you think? One more song for
So,
everybody to say thank you very much for coming through. I'm also going to tell people that next week I don't have a show on next week. I'm going cycling. So I've got a night off next week, which is good. And then there will be some further shows starting from July onwards.
I want to thank you really, really, because I don't know if my friends outside know what you're doing, because you do this. I told him he is crazy. He's helping poor musicians, just because his passion wants to do this, and this is a great thing. Thanks for arranging this, and sorry for the mess at the beginning. So we did a sound check yesterday. Everything worked.
It was incredible. It was incredible. But my absolute pleasure. I think to support artists, that's a fantastic thing to do. I will also ask if anyone wants to donate money. You can certainly do so. 10% of that will go to the World Health Organization. 75% of that will go to Jule, and the remainder will come into the studio here to kind of assist with costs. And if you do want to support the DA Musical HQ program, you can do so on Patreon as well, and that's going to be growing over the next couple of months. I'm going to be changing the way that it works and how we operate it. So if you do want to join that, go ahead and come and join me as a groupie in my Patreon program, because what it does is it basically helps to support artists. So that's the program. Anyway, Jule, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Play something for us, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, I will, because we spoke so much. I had no plan really what to do, but we spoke so much about Joni Mitchell. I think we end with a Joni Mitchell song.
What a good idea.
So, and for this, I have a little handy microphone, a new one. So for this, I think because I need a cable, I would do the cable out, and maybe it sounds a little bit better with this. I don't know. Let's try. I'm not an endorser of Shure, but okay.
But if they want
so,
to.
There are two pieces in my life, favorite pieces I have. The first one is Payaso. I played already. Okay, it doesn't work. I will keep the battery. And the other one is a song of Joni Mitchell, A Case of You.
I need that one.
And I did a solo arrangement of it with the deepest string on C. So don't be afraid, it's a ballad. Because, I teach today from 9 till 5 o'clock. So I thought it's too exhausting to play after this internet's problems to play something fast. So more dreaming music,
Go ahead.
Just before all got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, I saw you in the darkness. If you want me, I'll be in the bar on the back of a cartoon coaster in the blue TV screen light. I drew a map of Canada. Ooh, Canada, with your face sketched out on it twice. You're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and you taste so sweet, 'cause I could drink a case of you, darling. And I'd still be on my feet, I'd still be on my feet. I'm a lonely painter. I live in a box of flames. I'm frightened by the devil, and I've drawn those ones that ain't afraid. I remember the time you told me, you said love is touching souls. Surely you touched my ghost. All of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. You're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, you taste so sweet, 'cause I could drink a case of you, darling. And I'd still be on my feet, still be on my feet. I met a woman, she had a mouth like yours. She knew your life, she knew your devils and your deeds, and she said, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. You're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and you taste so sweet, 'cause I could drink a case of you, darling. And I'd still be on my feet, still be on my feet.
Wow, 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 wow. Again, thank you so very, very much for your time and for
Thanks.
joining
I
us
have
on
to
the
thank
show.
you all, and thanks for inviting me, and to everybody for listening, and especially to my wonderful parents. I know they are
Listening.
also watching.
There was one last question. How can fans support your new album? What I said is that stay tuned, because there will be something interesting coming, I'm sure. How they can support.
Yes, I maybe there's an option. It depends a bit how I will do it. I will think about it to make a crowdfunding thing or something like that.
Something like that.
I will let you know if a new album is out, and I'm not sure which one is coming first, because also the song album has 7 songs recorded yet, the new one. So my first plan was to first release the song CD, but it could be that also the the instrumental comes first. But it's a luxury problem, you know.
It's coming.
I hope to have a bit of a time now to make it, and yeah, I'm happy for everybody who loves to buy this album, the old one, the new one, or someone of my great colleagues. Not of the mainstream guys.
No mainstream. Anyway, thank you very, very much. We will see you
Thanks.
again very soon. And lots of love to all of you. Look after yourselves.
Thank you, Dominic.
Bye for now.
It was a pleasure. Thanks.
Pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so that was Jule. Very fantastic to have her with us. Thank you everybody for joining us. And yeah, so the next sessions will be from July onwards. I'm going cycling next week, as I said. Look forward to seeing you again all soon. If you want to donate, that would be great. It's always good to support our artists who are having difficulty performing. And yeah, if you want to join me on Patreon, become one of my board members and try and help other artists along the way, by all means join me. I look forward to having you